All right, let's dive in. This isn't just some ancient story collecting dust. No, this is a high-stakes epic. We're talking about a divine promise made to a man who's 100 years old and his wife who's 90. A promise that sounds absolutely impossible, but one that was destined to completely reshape the world. This one question from Sarah, man, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's pure astonishment. It's all about the impossible becoming real, that kind of laughter that comes from total disbelief turning into overwhelming joy. This is the moment the miracle truly lands. So try to imagine the scene. You're in the quiet of the desert, nothing but shimmering heat. And then, in an instant, everything changes. Heavenly messengers appear to Abraham. We're talking about celestial light just breaking into this ordinary, dusty world. The long, long silence is officially over. The promise is about to get a serious jumpstart. And this is where it gets real. Notice the precision here. On the 15th day of the 6th month. This isn't some vague someday promise anymore. This is a divine appointment, set in stone. The declaration is made. Sarah will have a son. That little ember of hope they've been carrying for decades, it's about to erupt into a full-blown inferno. Okay, so just 1 month later, the story escalates, big time. The angels actually return, and they find Sarah is already pregnant. And the prophecy? It just explodes in scope. Suddenly, this isn't just about one child anymore. It's about the future of, well, everybody. So this lays out two very different paths. You see, Abraham would have other sons, and their descendants would become great nations, counted among what we call the Gentiles. But Isaac's line, that was set apart. His was the covenant line, the holy seed, a people destined to have a unique relationship with God. A seriously crucial destiny was sealed in this very moment. And you can bet, when the angels share this incredible news with Sarah, the entire camp just goes wild. That quiet, personal hope they'd been holding on to is now a massive shared celebration. You can almost hear the laughter echoing between the tents as the reality of this miracle starts to sink in for every single person there. Abraham, just overflowing with gratitude, does something completely extraordinary. He doesn't wait for the baby to be born. Nope. He throws a massive festival of faith before the promise is even fully delivered. This becomes the first ever Feast of Tabernacles, and it's just this powerful public act of pure trust and joy. And we're not talking about a small get-together. For 7 epic days, Abraham unleashes a celebration on an incredible scale, right there near the well of the oath. He builds an altar and booths for his entire household. It must have been an unbelievable sight. And look at this. This was not a small prayer of thanks. Look at the sheer volume of his gratitude. Every single day, for 7 days, this wave of offerings was brought to the altar. This was a loud, public, overwhelming declaration of his faith in what was coming. It was truly a feast for the senses. Every morning and every evening, he burned this incredible mixture of 7 perfectly balanced aromatic spices. Just try to imagine that fragrance rising up, filling the desert air as he praised God for the promise. And here's the ultimate validation. This massive, heartfelt act of faith was seen and it was blessed. It wasn't just a party in the desert. It was a joy that literally reached heaven itself. Okay, now the energy completely shifts. The festival of faith gives way to the profound, stunned joy of actual fulfillment. The promise is no longer a future hope. It's here. The wait is over. This timeline really helps put it all into perspective. On the left, you see that in the first month of the year, other nations are already taking root. Lot's daughters give birth to the ancestors of the Moabites and Ammonites. Then, on the right, just 2 months later, the covenant line is secured when Isaac is born. History is not standing still here. A new map of nations is being drawn in real time. And men, right on schedule, exactly when God had promised. During the festival of first fruits, Sarah gives birth. Abraham names him Isaac. And the name is just perfect, isn't it? It means laughter. It captures everything. Decades of waiting, the sheer absurdity of the promise, and the pure, uncontainable joy of finally holding it in his arms. So 8 days later, it's official. The promise is formally passed down to the next generation as Isaac enters the covenant. And at the exact same time, you've got Ishmael, who's now 14, growing into a skilled archer out in the wilderness. His own unique destiny, also watched over by God, is starting to take shape. Now, fast forward a couple of years, Abraham marks another huge milestone. Isaac is weaned. Now, in that culture, this was a massive step, a sign that the child was strong and would survive. So to celebrate, Abraham throws an enormous feast. This was basically a public announcement that the new covenant generation had officially arrived. And get this guest list. It's like a who's who of the ancient world. You've got these living legends, patriarchs like Shem and Eber. You have Abraham's own father, Terah. And you've got local power players like King Abimelech. Generations, past and present, are all coming together to witness and celebrate this one historic moment. And right as this new era is kicking off, an old one officially comes to a close. Around the same time, Serug, who was Abraham's great-great-grandfather, passes away at the incredible age of 239. It's like a definitive marker. The world of the past is making way for the future, and that future is being built around Isaac. And so, our story finds this beautiful resolution. The promised child is growing up, the beginnings of new nations are taking root, and Abraham, the man who believed in the impossible, finally gets to live at peace, surrounded by the undeniable, living, breathing proof of a promise fulfilled. And it leaves us with this huge question to chew on, doesn't it? From one man's faith, from one seemingly impossible birth, the destinies of entire nations were forged. It really makes you wonder how a single promise, when it's held with that kind of unwavering belief, can ripple through history and shape the very world we live in today.